to Evansville Podcast. My name is Jason Burton. Thanks for hanging out with us. Before we get into today's episode, I wanted to let you know about a new podcast called the Brewer's View Man Cave Podcast. This is started by Josh Petrowski and Ryan Huff. They cover sports at a local and national level. Josh and Ryan are entertaining, and they're also very knowledgeable about sports. So check them out. Go to the Brewer's View, thebrewersview.com. And you can find the episodes there. Also, if you're hearing this in time, make sure tonight, First Friday, the last First Friday event of the year at Haney's Corner, September 1st. And then tomorrow, September 2nd, check out the first Front Porch Fest, which will also be at Haney's Corner. Won't necessarily be at Haney's Corner every time that front Porch Fest, if I can talk today, will happen. But tonight and tomorrow going to be a good time to be had at Haney's Corner. Lots of great music and lots of fun events going on. So check it out. Now, on to today's episode. Kenneth Spond, he joins us and talks about the 2016 Evansville Design Group Competition. This is the 5th annual awards competition, and it will be held on October 21st, 2016. Deadline for entry is September 30th, and we talk about some of the favorite design work that he has that can be seen around town. Also, some of his work, where you can find it. Some of the Evansville Design Group initiatives that are around to help nonprofits, and what principles that good design will follow, and what kind of tools he uses for design work. So we get into a lot of things, mainly about the Evansville Design Group, but we also talk a little bit about what he does. So thanks, and let's just get into it. Thanks. It's Kenneth, not Ken, right? I want to make sure I'm calling you. I don't want to call you something that you don't want to be called.
It is both.
It is both.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
Kenneth, then I don't talk to too many Kenneths.
Go for it. I'll say Ken a lot.
Okay.
So I don't slur over my TH.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kenneth.
Yeah. If I'm drinking, Ken comes out really smooth.
Comes out really nicely. Gotcha. Well, sir, Mr. Spond.
Mr. Spond, that'll work.
That'll work. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Not doctor or anything. I didn't just...
No.
Okay, good.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm not working towards it either.
But honorary, you never know.
Never know.
You're not going to say no to that, right?
I won't.
Yeah. So you are a member of the Evansville Design Group.
Yes.
And you are... Are you in charge of the competition committee? Is it a committee? It's a
committee. Yeah. So we break the Evansville Design Group down into all sorts of various committees. Everything we do will be filtered through a committee. Mm-hmm. So not one person or one couple of persons has all the responsibility. Right. So for the awards, I am responsible for just everything that involves setting that up and getting that running.
Okay. And how many years have you guys had this contest?
This is our fifth.
Fifth year.
Yeah.
I feel so inadequate right now that I didn't go to the previous 4.
Yeah, well, you're invited to this one.
Okay, awesome. That's all I wanted. So what is how do you get to be in the contest? I guess maybe is a good way to start.
So we have we just have a website with submissions open, and that's just through evansvilledesign.org. That is our official website. Mm-hmm. So you go there, you go to events. It should be one of our main page options right now. It'll give you all the submission guidelines, so if you're we do try to keep it local, within 50 miles is what we consider local. It's kind of our serviceable region.
Sure.
If you're outside of that, submit to one of your big cities nearby, basically. But,
sure.
Yeah, you just go, and there's a template to download. You pick your best work, fit it into that template, and then we have various fee tiers.
Okay.
Student, professional, member, non-member, basically. And then you can submit as many as you want through there.
Oh, okay. And is design maybe a broad term? Is there any kind of specific categories? Is this all digital? Is this all print allowed? I guess is it?
Yeah. So
video. What are we talking about?
Design is a broad term. Yeah, and we try to service as much of that definition as we can. We have specifically graphic design, motion, which is like video, interactive. We have web design. We do illustration, and I know I'm missing a couple, but they're all in there. All right, yeah. So design is a very broad term.
Yeah.
We try to service as much of that term as we can. Specifically, we like to break it down into categories, and you'll see these reflected in our certain category awards that we give out, kind of a best of. So in addition to best of show, we have best of categories are print, interactive, motion, photo, industrial, and interior.
Oh, okay.
So I guess things that I would still consider design, things like architecture and audio are not quite included. I'm not saying that we wouldn't accept them. We'd have a harder time judging those and fitting them into the program. But for now, those are kind of where we're at. I can break those down for you, too, if you want.
So, yeah, sure, yeah. Because the difference between interior and, like, industrial is...
Yeah. So, so interior design, that is your spatial arrangement. It can be everything from what furniture you're choosing, the fabrics on those furnitures, the finishes, the placement, the art, the colors, the paint, the structure, everything. Industrial is more like product design. Mm-hmm. So, somebody designed this water bottle, and that's actually somebody in Evansville, most likely somebody at Berry Plastics. They have a team of industrial designers that's just designing bottles.
Think about that, yeah.
And going, hey, what's the best way to design this coffee lid here so that it doesn't pour out on my chin and dribble down my shirt when I drink coffee, right?
Right, exactly.
So that's industrial design.
Okay.
Design of the chair that I'm in would be industrial design. Choosing the chair to place in here would be interior design.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and then print is kind of the most obvious. That's everything that you work up on a computer or by hand that gets printed,
Sure.
It would most likely be a lot of things that you might consider fine art as well. So if you design a poster for yourself or something that still fall into the print category. Interactive and motion, those two kind of get confused as well. Okay. Interactive is going to be like your web design, app design, user experience stuff, where motion is going to be motion graphics, After Effects, things you plop onto, insert into videos, and then the actual recording of the videos as well.
Okay, got it. That makes sense. So do you have to be in the Evansville Design Group? You mentioned the 50-mile radius, but you don't have to be a member of the design group to apply for this or to be in the contest, right?
Let's call that to enter.
To enter? Yeah. Man, I was like looking for that word, and you nailed it.
Submit an entry, yeah.
Words are not my forte.
Well, it's good that you're doing podcasts.
No, it's a learning experience.
Yeah. How many are you in? Are you like 50?
I'm in all of mine.
No, are you...
Yeah.
Touche.
No, I know that was terrible. I'll edit that out. No, I looked at it today, and there's like 148.
Oh, well,
so
congrats.
And when I hit 150, that's when the words start. I've been told that. The first 149 are for practice.
Then the words kick in. That's good.
So sorry you missed that one.
So we'll just do 149 more takes after this.
Right.
Then we'll have it. Yeah. Okay, you don't have to be a member. It is structured to be less expensive to enter for members than it is for non-members.
Okay.
So you'll find that if you're going to enter more than a couple entries, it's generally better to just go ahead and do your membership, because that's going to give you all the membership benefits throughout the year as well.
Right.
Plus the cost will be pretty similar, to enter 5 or to enter 5 and get a membership.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And plus being a member, I mean, you get to hang out with cool people a lot, right? I mean, it's worth it just for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've seen some of I know a few people that are in the group. And
who do you know in the group?
Like Nick Basham and Matt Wagner.
Okay.
People like that. Rachel Wambach, Scott Wambach.
Nobody knows those three.
No. I don't know if there may be, if you're not familiar, they've done a couple of things that you may know of. Actually, Nick designed my logo for the podcast. So.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Okay. And it's way better than my original logo.
Oh, good.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, actually, I liked it. So.
Yeah. Well, that would be why.
I was going to ask if I were interviewing you later.
Oh.
Yeah, but Nick's a good friend of mine. We went to high school together, played football together.
Oh, cool. Nick played football.
I've eaten his food.
Ah.
Yeah, Nick played football. He was a lineman.
Nice. He does not seem like he's angry enough to play football.
It's there.
But it's there. Okay, it's a hidden burning.
It's the water boy thing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I get you. So what do you do then? What is your specialty with design? Or are you even just not? You just don't care, and you're just in the group as a fanboy, maybe?
No, I am a designer. Yeah.
Okay.
I would fall mostly into this print design.
Okay.
Yeah, I think designers in general, if you consider yourself a designer, could do any of these reasonably. I have to wear the hat of photographer sometimes. Yeah. Motion sometimes, interactive sometimes, not really so much industrial and interior. But I would classify in print. So, anyone looking at my entries is mostly going to fall into that area.
Okay, so that the print design that's a cool, because you get to design, I'm sure, a variety of projects, right? And it's not just band posters or something like that. It's
exactly.
You're all over the place, I bet.
And I'm in this category, so I might just be wrong. If I were in another category, I might see more of it. But I tend to think that's the most involved, the most inclusive category as well.
Okay.
Since it does take things like you say, okay, I print this magazine, that's print. I design this logo, where does that go? Well, it's going to fall into print. Mm-hmm. All the branding is going to fall into print, and most of these things you do is going to fall into print if you're doing it for graphic design.
Yeah,
and that's where most of our strongest competition is going to come from, because most of our group is graphic design. Mm-hmm. There are photographers and people doing film and things like this, but vast majority is graphic design, and so that's the strongest competitive area.
Yeah. And how long have you been in the Evansville Design Group? Do you know? You even know that? Did I just stump you with a
yeah, no. I'm trying to think if I think they were around for 1 year before I joined, and I joined in 2012. So I was there for the inaugural awards event. But.
All right, so you're familiar with the awards event. Have you been involved with the awards event the whole time, or is this?
The first 2 years, I was just a competitor. I just entered the awards.
Yeah.
Then the following 2 years, or the previous 2. Okay,
so you've seen a lot of the awards then, or all of them. So, how would you maybe describe the level of competition in the categories? Maybe
it's high. Yeah, it's and it's always increasing too, because I'm sure this is biased, but I tend to think do tend to think that our group has cultivated over the years a much stronger design sense in the community, and kind of pulled more people out of the woodwork. Obviously, our group has grown, and when we see, you can see that when we're at 100 plus or 140, wherever we're at with membership, it's significantly more than it was during our first awards.
Yeah.
So more people are entering. We have more agencies that are part of the group. More independents are part of the group. More corporate and in-house design teams are part, and they've had good, competitive design the whole time, and maybe just be coming into the fold. So as they enter, and as more people enter these competitions, and we see who is, doing great design, or where that's actually coming from. Oh, that actually is somebody local, and we're just now seeing these people come out and start entering and joining our group.
Okay. So yeah, because I wasn't necessarily aware of a lot of the design talent around until I start paying attention. And it's like, oh, well, they did that, and they did that, and it's like all these things pop up. Is there a favorite thing that you've seen, or that not necessarily of yours, but of someone in the group that you see around town, maybe that you're like, that's really cool that I know that they do that?
You see, it's hard to answer because all my favorite things are my work.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding. No. My favorite, and this, I think there are a lot of people that would say this. My favorite over the past few years has been the Tin Man work.
Yeah.
The branding was excellent, and Aaron, that's Matt Wagner for Wagner Design, Aaron Tanner of Melodic Virtue worked together on that. And that's not just the logo and, some of the brand standards. And this is the kind of stuff you find out when you're in the group and when you go to the awards ceremony and things like this, is that they organized the interior design of the space. So they won awards for the interior design as well, not just the graphic design. They organized that genius marketing strategy that, before they opened, they just put out billboards with the robot head coming this date. Right. And there were people calling the news thinking there's an actual robot invasion coming. People are losing their minds.
Yes.
It was a brilliant...
Can't pay for that kind of stuff.
It was a brilliant campaign, yeah. But and it goes deep. There's so much they did with that. It was fantastic. But then there's another one recently, Pangea, which I think that logo is just brilliant. Have you seen it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so the concept...
It's almost as good as their food.
Almost. Yeah, I ate there today, actually. That's probably why I keep burping in the mic.
Oh, well.
But,
and you didn't bring any over. I'm very sad about this.
Yep, you know what? I didn't. Next time. Now that I know you're a Pangea fan. Yeah. So...
I'm trying to start something. See, when people come on the show, they bring me Pangea.
Exactly. Okay.
It's worth a shot.
Come to the show, bring Pangea.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, and
sorry to interrupt you.
Then you get aired on the show. That's the benefit.
Right. And if you don't, then you don't come back. But that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, that's fine. That's what we're doing, right? So the concept of the Pangea logo is so good because what it actually is this, these kind of world food groups kind of coming together, and that's what Pangea is. And then you also have the logos made up of those, within that circle, those letters that are coming together that kind of form that Pangea.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of unified whole. It's just so good and so simple.
It's very good. Yeah. So, what's something of yours that we may have? You have something around here that we may know of or see a lot?
Do you go to the Evansville Museum?
I do.
So, as you enter the Evansville Museum, there's a Abraham Lincoln display.
Okay.
That was my internship project when I interned with Matt Wagner.
Nice.
So, not saying he didn't, guide some of the.
So you taught him a few things.
I taught him a few things. Just a couple.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was my internship project, and that was one of our Best of Show winners a couple years ago. So this isn't one of my most involved projects, but it definitely was kind of a project of passion here, especially since I get paid like store dollars, not real money.
Right.
So I recently, loosely about a year and a half ago, redesigned the Comet Quest logo.
Oh, cool.
Which is just this giant load of nothing. It was just crap beforehand. It's just type up on a wall, and I'm like, okay, I love this place. I kept trying to sell myself to him. Eventually, broke him down. Like, okay, we'll let you do a logo.
Yeah,
I just have to pay him store money, and I'm like, I buy games anyway. It's basically money in my pocket, so I'll do that. Yeah, so I get to do that, and it's definitely boosted them a lot. Their merchandise and their kind of store presence. They got a brand new sign out front, and you always like to hear good things about your work. And I had a friend who was in there, and he was buying something, and a guy came in who hadn't been in Evansville for quite a while. And he says, "Hey, did you guys get a new sign out front?" I'm like, "Yeah, we did." And he goes, "Man, I really thought something looked less shitty about this place."
Wow. You're like, highest praise.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Hey, yeah, not shitty."
So that's on your resume now, right?
Yeah, it is. That's skills.
Skills.
So, yeah, I like that.
That's good. I like it. I like that. I don't know.
And that's design. That's what it is.
That's what you're going for, right?
Yep.
So, as did you go to school for design? Are you self-taught or mixture of?
A little bit of both. Yeah. So I started in 2006 as self-taught web designer. Mm-hmm. Worked my way into doing graphic design with the graphic design programs. Decided I was kind of having a hard time picking up certain things like knowing. Teaching myself enough to know how to look for what I don't know how to do is where I was having problems. So I went to Ivy Tech here in town and did a 2-year there, which was, I think, fantastic. The design instructors out there are great, and they're all working in the field, so everything's super current. They're usually all up to date on their programs, especially since new ones are coming out, new updates every couple months with it being cloud-based now.
Yeah.
And they know their stuff, and it's good, and they really lit a fire into me, and that's how I got the connection to the Evansville Design Group to begin with. That's how I got my internship. That's how I got my first job and a couple jobs after that. So, the networking and the experience is invaluable.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are there any, the programs that are you like a Photoshop guy, or do you, some people don't like Photoshop, so.
It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
And it's probably because it doesn't, if you use the main three, like the trinity of Adobe programs, Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign.
Yeah.
If you use them as they should be used, you find yourself not using Photoshop as much as the average Joe who has Photoshop. Because it definitely has purpose. I still use it almost every day, but just not as much as the others. InDesign's the real big, the big winner of all of those.
Okay. I use Audition for that, but I don't. Photoshop just makes me. Yeah. It makes me want to hurt things when I try to get in there. So, but I'm not a designer. I don't ever claim to be that.
You can always open up photos and put a filter on there.
Yeah,
and then you're a designer.
No,
that's how it works.
No,
as long as you're somebody's cousin.
Well, I learned computer. The design part always fascinates me because I don't have that ability. I'm a software developer, so I can make things work, but I can't make them look pretty. And I'm always
I have the opposite problem.
So, yeah, it's always good to know good designers because usually you can't find those.
Relationship.
Right, exactly. You usually don't have one that can do both. There's occasionally you'll find that unicorn, but not very often.
Yeah, that unicorn's name is Kennedy Rose.
Oh, I was thinking
I hope he's listening.
Jonathan Marvel, but I have one too, so I know of one. But,
there you go.
But yeah,
that's not many for us to be able to collectively
it's
pull.
like two in the in all of southern Indiana, probably. Yeah, it's very rare. So, I know you can't just describe how you know how to think, but how do you know when something is like, something is good, I guess, or done? That concept of, because you could, I know I would tinker with something probably until it's way past where I should have stopped. So how do you know when you're done with something? There
are design elements and there are design principles that can and should usually be followed. And when you really boil it down, design is as it differs from fine art. I think the main difference, you'd say fine art is personal expression. Design is customer or consumer expression. So I'm given a product, like I'm given some coffee roaster. I can go paint whatever I want about it, and it is successful when I'm done with it, right? If I go do that to brand them, then that's wrong and that's not correct because I need to express their brand. And when you look, there's things you look at like who's their target market, how do they respond to certain elements of design, how do these people respond to elements of design, and how can we best sell this product and tell a story? Then when you've told the story and you've solved all the problems creatively and you have an answer for things, you're technically done, right? When you're communicating, because it's just visual communications, and when you're communicating that brand and that structure, then it's like complete. But it's not necessarily, for me, complete at that time.
Right.
For me, there's a ton of things that I look at. Not all designers are the same. I look at all the design elements and principles that I can and how they relate to one another, especially the elements within the design on a page. So let's say we keep talking about branding or doing a logo. There are mathematical relationships from every element on the page. There might be a gap on the right side and a gap on the left side, and usually I want to make sure those gaps are perfectly the same because the eye notices when things are just barely off or when they're majorly off or when they're kind of wacky and wrong. If I have a bunch of diagonal angles going one direction across, I want them to probably all be similar or the same or very purposely different. I don't want to accidentally throw all these angles all over the page.
Right.
So you want to look at all this and how is the eye going to see this and work its way around this logo.
Okay.
If you're thinking of all that intentionally, you're going to reach a point where you're done. But, there are certainly times where I feel like a kid with crayons who just won't stop coloring the page. And I have clients take my crayons away, and be like, well, like, I think we're good here with something. Can we wrap it up? Oh yeah. Well, it's usually not clients. It's usually my 9 to 5 that'll do it. So I do both. I do 9 to 5, a corporate and a freelance.
I feel like that's pretty common.
Yeah.
With designers, right? The side gig that you can't. You just have your thing, and then and usually there's no problem with that, right? With most corporations don't. No,
not usually. I mean, it's kind of frowned upon to dip into like a competitor.
Yeah, that. Well,
but
that's with anything.
Or you stay outside of the industry, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I work for a furniture company. If I started doing freelance for Herman Miller, they wouldn't like that very well. Unless I tanked it on purpose, that might be a nice subversive strategy.
That may not lend for more work, though. But you can try it. So going back to the contest, then, so you have all these. There are rules that are common, or principles. We'll call them not rules, but so is that how the judging is done in this kind of these principles, these criteria?
Okay, yeah. So we know that the judging is subjective,
right?
We try to pick designers who are well-rounded, usually creative directors, because they're creative directors are generally responsible for every aspect, every category. They have a brand that they manage or brands that they manage, and they manage the print. They manage when videos happen, when photo shoots happening. So they're usually much more well-rounded, which makes them more qualified to judge more than just their category. But still, we know that is subjective to that judge. Sure. For that reason, we rotate judges every year. There's no consistent judges. We find and source these judges. Try to get about 5 from all from different areas of focus, and they judge based on a high standard of merit. Basically, they don't judge each piece against each other.
Okay.
They have a little rating system, like a 10-star rating system, and a comment section. So they'll see one item at a time, uncategorized. So it's all pulled together. Mm-hmm. And they'll say, look at it kind of against a high standard of merit. If they get a commercial, they're thinking, okay, I'm thinking the best commercials, I'm thinking the best films, the best directing.
Right.
Where does this fall on a 1 to 10 rating? And they'll rate it. They'll watch it, think about it, rate it 7 or whatever. Mm-hmm. If they add a comment, that's good. It helps us in case there's ties, which doesn't happen a whole lot, but if it does, it's good to see. Sure. Like if the 2 best ones are tied, what are people saying about it? And we might even send it back to them and make them judge, a little more strictly on those 2 items.
Okay. And are these judges local as well, or are they
usually
outside
not
the area? Okay.
Yeah, they're usually outside of the area. I'm I can't quite recall where our farthest are from, but I know we get them from Louisville and Texas, and
okay, so
from all over we've had.
So it's not just a local bias, then it would be like it's a more of a national, like
yep.
Just these are the best of the best from this area, but they're judged by national judges. So
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and when is the that we may have already talked about, but when is the event again?
Well, the submissions are open now. That's again at evansvilledesign.org.
Right.
The submissions will be open until September 30th.
Okay.
And that's when they close, and that gives us just a couple weeks to get everything judged and get the awards made. And then the actual event is on October 21st. Okay. It's from 6 to 8, and it's downtown here this year at Kirby's Event Center. Or Event Center at Sauce. Or
the Ballroom at Sauce, I think is what it's called.
Ballroom at Sauce.
Yeah. But the old Kirby's.
I know, we booked them and they started changing their name and stuff. And we just call it Kirby's.
Just go to Sauce and they'll point you in the right spot.
Yeah, it's the building over there.
It's the building, it's Haney's Corner. Just wander around. You'll find it.
I'm hoping people will stop and get a drink at Sauce and then go over or Dapper Pig or something like
Absolutely. And is it, what is it? Does it cost to go to the event then?
It does cost. Right. And, that's not up right now.
Okay.
I don't quite remember.
So it will be up by the time.
Yeah, the event cost to be posted here before too long.
But it's totally worth seeing. It sounds like there's going to be some really cool stuff. Just because.
Yeah, the work is great.
The people I know are good. So
yeah, so going to the event, it is it's a dinner. It's not sit down, but it's a buffet style. It is catered. Cash bars. We have. Professional audio, video setup and everything to display the awards. We have Ron Rhodes is our DJ.
Nice.
Our MC. He's our MC. Yeah.
I hope he DJs. That would be amazing.
Yeah, he beatbox.
I want to see that.
He's fantastic. He's I'm not sure if you've ever seen Ron Rhodes MC anything.
I have not.
Or sing karaoke, but he's amazingly incredible at both. But we've had him since our first one, and we'll keep him as long as we can.
Yeah.
Because he's great at that. But yeah, there's also, I want to touch on our awards as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our silver and gold awards, and that's just when they hit a certain point value in that merit-based system. And those are I printed on nice French Paper Company paper, which is an American-made paper in Michigan, and they're high-quality paper.
Wrap your head around that one.
Yeah, we really like them. Yeah, French. It's the last name.
Okay.
Family-owned still, and that's the last name of the family.
Gotcha.
So, and it's I think 6 generations they've been.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I love paper.
Yeah.
I love paper.
That's cool.
So it's on French paper.
That's cool.
We do an EDG wax seal. We seal them all. Then that's for the gold. Then we have like a silver wax and a gold wax. Then we have best in category for each 6 categories. Mm-hmm. That's going to be print and wax seal on a solid piece of walnut. And then we also have a best of show award for student and professional. Those are custom designed every year. So far, every year they've been designed by Jordan French at Blue Clover Studios, and they're the industrial design studio of Berry Plastics. Mm-hmm. He is designing it this year as well.
Cool.
I think the fabrication will happen outside of Berry this year. They usually have fabricated them, and we've sent it to a couple different vendors to do certain parts of it. But I think we're going to try to source it somewhere else this year.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
That's cool.
Those are pretty fantastic. We do have each one of those on the website as well, so you can look at the past competitions and see how each one of them is inspired by our branding and kind of by our mission to, come this nice 12-inch tall, form that you can like crack someone over the head with.
Yeah, which is the proper use of an award.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. Well, awesome. Well, I guess I'll get working on my stick figure drawings. Yeah. And let's see what happens.
Oh, yeah. Submit some videos, too. We need someone to take down our reigning video champ, Dave DeCimo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and he just won like some regional Emmys.
Oh.
So he's like,
I can't stand.
Yeah. You can't. We need some people to submit good videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, actually, I want to do a specific call for all those other non-print.
Yeah.
For those people.
The non-print, get your act together.
Yeah, we have like a couple of each, We have a couple interior, a few industrial, a few videos. I'd love to see it like flooded so that the people who are, submitting regularly and getting their, kind of, not that they're shoo-in, because they totally deserve it, but, that are getting their best in category awards kind of easily just against a couple of, I'd like to see them really get a run for their money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that. We're putting out the pod signal for some non-print people design to get in there. Mm-hmm.
People should definitely just come out. I mean, we do have people that just come to the event and don't enter because the event's so nice. People dress nice, come out. It's just something nice to get out and do. Yeah. And it's a unique event.
And, Scott Shimmick knows what he's doing over at Sauce. So
and that's all great.
That's worth going for food too. So.
Yeah, it's also our it is a fundraiser event for our group. If I can just touch a little bit on kind of what our group does.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily just want to read our little
You have it memorized?
The Evansville Design Group showcases but we bring awareness to all the different aspects. I mean, this is kind of how we started. We bring awareness to all the different aspects of design in a community. City planning is designed. And, every menu you see is at least somewhat designed, even if the person just opened up Word.
Right.
It's, it's designed.
It's poorly designed, but it's still designed.
Exactly. Still designed.
Right.
And even, specifically bringing up poor design, that's what we want to bring awareness to. We want to bring awareness to how design can elevate a community. Mm-hmm. And we are a group of people who are involved in that, and we do more than just our jobs. We also, as a group, we have an initiative called Design for Good. Yes. So every year we have applicants, and we choose from those applicants to donate our design services. Among that list, we have Aurora, which is they do like helping the homeless community, and it's a really dumbed down way of saying what they do for people. But I'm just trying to be brief.
Yeah, they're a great group.
Yeah, our recent one from this year, Autism Evansville, we rebranded them. They were formerly Inspiring Autism Spectrum Families, and they were a mouthful. Mm-hmm. We suggested the name change. We did their branding. All that's donated, and we tried to keep them moving forward, in kind of an efficient way. We've also done literacy center and Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Sure.
And all of this is, so we don't just come out and say, "Hey, we want to design to elevate the community. Now come hire all of our designers." We're saying we also have initiatives to give back. Now those initiatives usually aren't free. Mm-hmm. Everything that we do. We offer them for free. Everything that we offer. Those things aren't free. If they need to get something printed, we're trying to, use our fundraising money towards stuff like that. If we need to, we use our fundraising money towards our monthly events. We have multiple monthly events. We have, if you're a member, you get emails, and you would know this, that we have speakers come in from all over, and try to enrich our designers and kind of keep that passion going and keep it cultivating throughout. So this is our biggest single event fundraiser of the year usually. Okay. I'm not sure if maybe because we also run Made in Evansville, which is like the t-shirts, like the t-shirt I'm wearing today.
Yeah,
MadeInEvansville.com.
We buy all of them.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we've done an event yet that's done more in revenue than in a single day. I know they do more throughout the course of the year.
Right.
But as far as a single event, this is still a pretty giant fundraiser for us. And, we're a nonprofit. So if you're coming to the event, or if you're entering, you're basically an entry or an attendance to the Evansville Design Group Awards is directly support for Evansville in the field of design, and even towards who knows what as far as what Design for Good does. So.
Yeah, and if you don't think design is important, then try going without it, and it would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be impossible.
A lot less joy, for one, but also you couldn't get around anywhere. And yeah, there's a whole bunch to it. So, no, I think it's awesome what you guys do. And if nothing else, I just like that you keep pumping out T-shirts for the Made in Evansville.
The T-shirts
I got the Vulcan one recently.
Did you? I got the Vulcan one, yeah.
Yeah, because the Vulcan dude was in the basement of the old courthouse. And I used to work in the old courthouse back in the day, and I would run into that thing, and it was like terrifying.
Yeah, he's in the museum.
So he's in the museum now. I saw him, and I was like, wow, he's got his hands back and everything.
Yeah.
so happy for him.
Yeah.
That thing is intimidating, but yeah. So
we're design advocates, and we're Evansville advocates, and like bringing those memories back to people is what and showcasing our history is what Made in Evansville is about, and that directly is an initiative of EDG. A lot of people don't know that because they go to the booth and they see Made in Evansville. What is Made in Evansville? But it is that's just one of our many initiatives. Yeah.
You guys are just do-gooders. Is that what it is?
Yeah, just do-gooders.
Can't help yourself.
And this is our yearly shower offer event. Yeah. No, it's fun to highlight. If you don't know what kind of great, like seriously great design comes out of our city, this is the perfect spot to go and see, and even judge for yourself. If you go and think it's garbage, then maybe move to San Diego.
Most likely you won't think it's garbage, but I think you will actually be very impressed with what's here, because
most people are impressed whenever they come to an event of ours for the first time.
So we have that whatever awkward Midwest humbleness most of the time where we're like, shucks, we're not that good. But then when you see stuff like, it is very good. The stuff I've seen before it's top notch.
It is. Yeah.
So we should be very proud of it, and I'm glad you guys showcase it that way.
Yeah, and we even have. I'm glad that a lot of the corporations with in-house design teams have started joining lately, because we have some in-house teams that are, they get to do, they do the repetitive brand stuff, but they put out some like pretty great work. And now that they've started showcasing that stuff, it's I've personally seen that the appreciation in those corporations from outside of their team, they see that the design community as a whole values their work and says, hey, this work is really good, and it makes the people around that internal design team appreciate their work a lot more. And I've experienced it myself and seen multiple people, heard multiple people talk about how it's had the same effect. Where it's like, they never really valued design. We're just like a production team cranking stuff out. But now it's like, you guys actually do good. You do great work, and people recognize it. And this actually does help us sell stuff, or it actually does help our brand awareness, or yada yada. So. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, thanks for coming over and chatting with me about this. And I know it took us a while to get the schedule worked out, but I'm glad it did, and early enough that we can get the word out and get those entries in.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, and get to come back sometime and talk more. Maybe we get some dirt on Matt Wagner or something.
Yeah, I've got plenty of it. Let's do an extended episode.
Yeah, actually. There you go. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking forward to going to that awards ceremony. Sounds like it's going to be a really cool time. So, very excited about this. And get out there, either enter or show up and see all the cool stuff that's going on in the area design-wise. Thanks, and make sure to go to evansvillepodcast.com for show notes, links to everything that we talked about, and previous episodes that I know you will like. Thanks. Good job, everybody.